Well, hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Adult Child of Dysfunction. Today, we have with us Lily McNamara, a psychic spiritual advisor and owner of Lily of the Light. They support entrepreneurs as they create sustainable self care and manifest abundance, helping clients to be the owner and the heroes of their own stories while being offensively authentic. Welcome, Lily. So happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I am thrilled to be talking about everything awesomely, offensively authentic on this podcast.
Well, I love that you just started it off. When I read the bio, I thought that's the perfect phrase, and I'm going to let you get more into that because I hear authenticity. Everybody talks about be yourself, step out as your true being, don't be afraid, all this stuff. But very often do you hear it called offensively authentic, and I love that. So touch on that.
So authenticity is great, and no shame to the light, fluffy, positivity coaches out there, but that is not me. I am the sassy, sarcastic bitch in town. And the thing about truly being authentic, it means you will offend somebody. If someone doesn't hate you, you are not being your authentic self, because you are not meant to be everybody's flavor. And if you are actually embracing your authentic self, you're going to piss somebody off. I always say there is a 100% chance you'll be the villain of someone's story. Make it a good story.
Absolutely. So how did you tell us a little bit more about your story?
So I am a psychic spiritual advisor with entrepreneur and millionaire clients all around the world that I love doing, and I love advocating for them to be their offensively authentic self. But where I got started is I actually started training when I was 10 with a mentor to be able to discern what was a psychic ability and what was like ego and childish enthusiasm. And it helped me to know where my path was going so that I could start flourishing at a much younger age. And in case anyone is wondering, to combat wrinkles, self-care. That's it. Self-care and genetics is the only way to find the fountain of youth. I have found it. I drink from it every day. It's called self-care. Okay. Because people ask, like, you're in your 30s and you have nothing. That's right. Self-care does that. So that is your magical tip for the day. Self-care is your fountain of youth. But it just, I love helping people. It's all I want to do with my life. I get so excited, and I love helping people in my authentic way, which is tarot and astrology and psychic mediumship and empowerment. I love adding the magic back into people's businesses and into their lives to make them more successful.
So someone comes to you, for instance, they come up and they're like, "Lily, what do you do? What do you help? Who do you help? How do you help me? What is your main game?"
Mhm. My main game is that I have Holistic Heroes, and it's a monthly membership where you get to see me once a month. You have full moon and new moon tarot readings, and we just support you. Me and all the gifts of the universe support you as you heal yourself to build your business. A lot of my clients are entrepreneurs and business owners. A lot of my clients who commit to large programs, like over $1,000 a month, or doing a $10,000 retreat. They are best-selling authors. I have a former Olympian as a client. I have a chart-topping singer-songwriter as a client. And so I always tell people, my mom said, when you say that, then regular people aren't going to want to work with you. And I said, if that's what I can do for them, guess what I can do for the ordinary? I will make you extraordinary. I will help you be extraordinary for yourself. And she's like, okay, that makes sense. And I'm like, all right, mom, there you go. You're okay with my business again. Good.
Yeah, right. Got the okay from mom. So you started at 10. Were your parents into this? Were they? No.
So I was raised strict Catholic, and
Mm.
I can still recite the rosary. My mom had a child, a weird, I was weird every day of my life. Okay, people, I was shy when I was younger, but I was always weird. But I went to my mom and I'm like, I see a man with a giant belly and jagged teeth, and I don't know what to do about it. I see a woman in the basement wearing all black. I don't know what to do about it. And I was seeing spirits at the age of 10. So
Mm.
my very Catholic family and my mother, with her strict upbringing, looked at me, and instead of going, my kid's insane, went, my kid is blessed. This is so cool. And then she did the research and she found me a mentor to be able to grow my gifts and be as awesome as I am. So she definitely started it, and then I grew into my awesomeness as I aged.
Oh yeah, because I'm picturing I had it wasn't a strict Catholic upbringing, but I was brought up in the church, and I can remember had I gone to my family and said that, I probably would have been exorcised.
Yep. No. Yep. Schizophrenia was actually the schizophrenia and being institutionalized was the recommendation for me. And my mom
Wow.
said, my kid isn't crazy. My kid is gifted. And so it really just flourished from there. And I learned, I believe that every human is different and unique and beautiful in their awesomeness. And so I never wanted a client to come to me and me not be able to help them. So what I did was for over a decade, I just devoured as many classes and courses and certifications as I could. So I'm actually trained in over 12 different techniques from around the world to
Oh
help
wow.
people. And so, because I never wanted someone to come to me and for me to be like, I can't do anything for you. I suck. It's not in my repertoire. However, if it's not in my repertoire, I do know somebody. I guarantee the Rolodex is big. The Rolodex is big.
Probably huge, yes. And it's, I think I say to people all the time because there's things that I do that I have a certification in, but it's because I wanted to learn. But if they come to me and say, "Hey, do this on me," I'm like, "Yeah, I got an expert.
Yep.
I'm very good at staying in my lane." And it sounds like you have a lot of lanes, so that's not hard to do.
Yeah, I like having a nice big freeway, but at the same time, like I always tell people, I never trained in numerology and I never will. Let me give you Christy. I am not trained in acupuncture. Let me give you Mike. Like those are people that, you can't be trained in everything. And so when someone's looking for something, it's good to have trusted people because your clients trust you. And so you should only be referring them to the best. And so that's what I do. I am so funny little side tangent. I am ruthless with the way I treat people. If you are not top of the line, you are not one of my colleagues. You are not someone that I refer to. And everyone who goes through like the referral process with me, like my colleagues are like, you're really mean. And I'm like, I'm not mean. I'm just going to ask you every single question imaginable to make sure that my clients who I love, and because they are the best people ever, are going to be safe with you. But then once it happens, like I had someone message me yesterday and just go, thank you. Like you are ridiculous and you are a cartoon character, but thank you because you just referred more people to me because I proved that I was one of the best. And I'm like, yes, be one of the best. And then I will shower you with clients.
I love it. I love it. So the people that are listening to say this podcast, a lot of them, as we were talking before, kind of come from that broken family, broken spirit, broken past. And it's not just one generation. It could be seven, it could be 10. Who knows how many generations it is. So are those type people that you work with?
Oh God, yeah. Whew. Yes, sir. So here is the hard truth that people don't understand. Everyone has shit. Everyone has trauma. Everyone has hangups. And this type of work can help everyone. Yes, I focus on entrepreneurs, but I also have a dog groomer as one of my clients, and I love her, and she's fabulous. And so it's the main thing is, do you want to get better? Do you want to love yourself? Do you want to live offensively authentic? Even if that pisses people off. And if you're ready for that, I am absolutely the person for you. And I always tell people that if you're worried that I haven't been through it, my abuse started at 12 months old and lasted over 3 decades. And it happened a minimum of weekly, and it was all across the board: sexual, physical, financial, emotional, all of it. And what I always tell people is like, I know the way out. Take my hand, let me walk with you. I am more than comfortable walking back in to walk with you out. And what I tell people is the myth is that you get better and then you build your life. I built an international business while still being abused. I built a life of safety and love for myself while escaping some of the worst experiences of my life. And I am proud of that. I'm comfortable with that. Hell yeah. Come with the water's fine over here. How about you come on over here into safety? Yum, yum, yum. It is fabulous. So that's what I tell people when it comes to trauma and generational work. There is a way out here. Let me show you. and it's okay to do it while you are still in the shit.
Absolutely. And that's why I tell people, like, get as young as you can, get them, fix the damage before the damage is done. Like, empower these people before all this negative stuff sets in and they're just kind of lost and floundering and not knowing why they are the way they are. I love
Yes.
it.
Yes, and there's something so we had, for those listening, we had a little get to know you to make sure that neither of us was cray cray, and neither of us is. It's fabulous. We are totally devoted to our clients. But in that, I told a story of one of the best gifts that my family gave me was honesty about addiction and alcoholism. So my great grandparents, all of them were alcoholics, and it was like just an unwritten rule to discuss it openly, and it was never shame. There was never, oh my god, this family member was, no, it was, your uncle drank so much that he passed out in a snowbank in Minnesota winter. For those of you who don't know what that is, that's deadly.
That
And
sounds terrible.
who's kept them warm? But no, so we were told those stories growing up. We were aware that an addiction and alcoholic proclivities gene trait was in us. And so as we grew up, we never partied. Like, I've drank alcohol. I quite frankly think it tastes like ass. But because my family was so honest, that was something that we avoided. We knew that we could become alcoholics so easily because other people in our family did. And that's a huge part of healing generational work, is being very honest. And it never felt weird talking about that stuff with my family. It was never a shameful topic. It was just, hey, here's an FYI, and here's a story, and here's a, and it made it so much easier. And they did this with a few different things. They also did this with like being having a period, having a moon cycle. That was another conversation that was like, oh no, you walk out of the school if you need to.
Right.
It's fine. If you don't have a change of pants, you don't even ask, you just leave, and then we'll call later once you get home. And it made my life so much easier. Other things were obviously very traumatic. I have a lot of trauma in my life, but speaking to people who have that generational work, be honest with yourself, be honest with the next generation, and it'll make things so much better.
Absolutely, because I feel like, and even when they say, "Oh, stop," I'm the one that stops the cycle. I stop drinking. That doesn't completely stop the cycle. Just FYI.
It
There's
just skips. It skips. So no one in we had only one member in my parents' generation that became an addict, but now we have two in my generation. We have two in my and I'm sitting there going, yep, just be aware of it. Just be open about it. And so yeah, it can skip a generation. Don't think that because it's broken, you don't talk about it. You talk about it. And for those listening, that it's like, oh, it's not alcohol, it's not drugs. This can be abuse. This can be narcissism. This can be pedophilia. This can be incest. This can be all of those bad, dirty, scary words that none of us want to talk about. Those things come through family. And for me personally, that's one that we never talked about. We never talked about incest, but it was very common in my family. And so that's one, while we were very aware of the alcoholics and how to fix that, we fell short with the other side. But that was the thing. We never talked about it. It was just common. And making something common can make it painful. Make it a topic. Don't make it, oh, it's okay, that's just something our family does.
right.
Talk about it. Talk about it. Ask
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly with it, because
Yeah.
just sugarcoating it is not helping either. Absolutely not.
Yes. And I love what you bring up, that there is good. There is good in the, like, my family is so loyal. They are an incredibly loyal, we breed them loyal. And but it's so it's like there are so many positive things, and a lot of people have this myth that it has to be black and white. I had a Disney fairy tale life. I had loving parents. I had an amazing life, as long as you didn't look too closely. If you look too closely, then it became Jack the Ripper behind the scenes. But that's the thing. It's not an either or, it's not a black or white. Your life will not be black and white. As you are growing and healing, it's all shades of gray. And once you start building your life, you get to incorporate color. And you can be a bag of Skittles. You get to taste the rainbow again, and it is fabulous.
That's awesome. I have a question because I'm curious about this because a lot of people that have this underlying trauma and they have, all this stuff going on and they've got all this like faulty thinking and preconceived notions about their life and everything, they have trouble tapping into the intuitive side of themselves. How did you kind of overcome that? Or was it not really, did you not know there was all this trauma that you were also dealing with?
Oh, it was a both and. It was a dialectic. It was a both and. So I was always in tune to my intuition, but I was always in trauma. And so it made it hard to like balance those things. It's hard when you have trauma because you don't trust yourself, because trusting
Right,
yourself is dangerous. The second you trust yourself, it means someone's going to get you.
right.
And that's not the dynamic that you want to set up with your own intuition. So there are several things that you do. I always tell people, start small. Your intuition is not going to be, I'm going to take a deep breath and what is my life's purpose? You're going to take a deep breath and ask which socks you're going to wear today. You're going to take a deep breath, open up the fridge, and of the food you have in your fridge, what does your soul crave? Not your body, your soul. And every little thing that works out, you validate that, you celebrate that, you become your biggest hype man with your own intuition. Oh, I picked the right socks today. Yeah. Because guess what? All right, here we go. I used my intuition for these socks today, people. This is something that I still do. Here we go. Forgive the pajama pants, but they are fandom socks. The reason why I picked them is because they are very thin and it is very hot in Minnesota right now. So I am wearing pajama pants, flowy pajama pants that are Oscar the Grouch. Yay for being offensively authentic. I always tell people I am professional from the tits up. But I will always grab my leg and show people on camera. It's like, and this is what we wear on the bottom half. But that's why I wore these socks, because I was like, oh, I don't want to be too warm and just like uncomfortable. So I knew today that it's like, even though I was freezing before I got on this call, I was like, oh, I'm so cold. The second I got on and like all the lights and candles, I'm like, okay, now I'm at a temperature that is not awful. Yay for thin socks.
Right.
You start small. You start so small. And the other thing you do, this is so hard for people, you keep it a secret. And it's just for you. It is only yours. Your intuition is in. It's yours. This is not something you share with a bunch of people so that their energy dilutes it. Because the problem is with trauma, as you know, we look to other people because we can't trust ourselves. And so the second you ask, is this right? Is this right? What do you think of this to a bunch of other people? Their energy mixes in, and all of a sudden it's not your authentic intuition anymore. So start small and keep it yours because it is yours. And then you grow up bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you can ask, when is it time to leave? And then you can ask, when is it time to talk to my children about alcoholism? And then you can ask the big questions, but you have to start small. And the small things are just as cool. Like, obviously, I'm elated about my socks still. I've been doing this professionally for 20 years. I've been seeing clients professionally for 20 years, which means I've been training for even longer. I still lose my shit over my socks. I still get so happy. There's no reason not to be. I picked the right socks. I'm awesome. Go into it with that point of view. You'll do great.
That's awesome. And I love that you said, I mean, it is true. And I'm just thinking back and I'm putting myself in that situation. And you're right. When you grow up like that, you question everything and you don't trust yourself. So even as you start to, I remember when I started kind of tapping into things and people are like, wow, you have a really good intuitive sense. And I'm like, yeah, but I self-sabotage that because when something comes at me and I think, okay, this is my first gut reaction, this is what I want to do, it took years before I would even act on it. I would talk myself out of it because I can talk myself out of anything immediately. Immediately. So for your people that are coming to you, are they coming to learn how to tap into their intuition, or are you helping them with what you see with your intuitive skills for them,
Ooh,
or a
it's
combination?
both. So I want you to grow your intuition and know that sometimes there are blind spots. I have blind spots. Everyone, if anyone's like, oh, I see all, you're not Sauron. This is not Lord of the Rings. Go F yourself. No one sees all. We all got blind spots. We all got an ego. And so I help you build your own intuition to make your own decisions to grow and thrive in your life and your business. And then I also help you. So that's what like the full moon and new moon tarot readings are for the membership. It's you get a video of me drawing cards just for you for the full moon and new moon. And today, the day that we are recording, is the new moon in Cancer. So we are all having feels today. So it's okay. Whenever this goes up, it'll probably still be Cancer season. So please have your feels for Cancer season. But that's what people get, is that they get my intuition helping them. I always tell people, I am not the one doing the work. I am just the fairy sprinkling the magic dust on you. That's it. And it's all you. And that is the most empowering thing I can ever tell anybody. It's all you. How amazing is that? I am just here to cheer you on, but you are the one who's going to be doing epic things with your life.
That is awesome. Yeah, I have a couple things. It was funny when I was starting to really go, okay, I'm in this journey, this journey of getting better and healing and everything. And I started really acting on my intuition. And I remember 3 things happened to me in a span of just a couple years. And I thought, well, maybe I shouldn't use my intuition because maybe I'm like, I don't know. I started questioning it so bad. One was I was supposed to sponsor these 3 hikers up in Alaska in this big mountain they were hiking. And I jokingly said, do I have to pay? What if you fall off? Like joking, like seriously joking. And they were killed and they never came to collect the money. And then I was at a circus and I was like, just joking again. And I said, man, nothing ever happens fun when I'm at a circus. Like, no one ever gets mauled by a tiger, like, nothing exciting. And the trapeze artist missed the rope at the top of the tent. And all I did was saw his hand go like this. And I literally said to myself before he even hit the ground, I killed him. Like I knew, like I thought that you know what I mean? And then it was like 2 years later, and I'm sitting here thinking, okay, I shouldn't tell many people about this because my dad's like, don't joke, don't say anything like that. Like that's not funny. And a girl came in and she was Indian. And so they wear these really beautiful necklaces and they're all tied up when they're born. And as they get older, they unwind them.
Oh,
And she was explaining it to me and I was like, that is beautiful. And she said, yeah. And I was given to us when I was a baby, when I was born. And I said, well, you better hope you're in the United States now, honey. You better hope you never get in a car accident because they will cut that thing off you. Like they will cut that shit before you know what hit you. 9 hours later, she was in the hospital having that necklace cut off. So
wow, look at you manifesting.
That was, yes. And like some people, and literally someone said to me, Tammy, that might be a good thing. Maybe you're an amazing manifester. You just need to use it for good.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, like where do I even go with that information? But it was really because then it was very hard for me to tap into when I had a thought, because I was like, ugh, like I really wrestled with that for a long time.
Absolutely. But that's amazing. Like manifesting, anyone can manifest. Anyone who's listening, please manifest on a regular basis. But it's so much more simple and complicated than people think. Like you have to find your style, you have to find your rhythm, you have to find your energy cycles, and then you manifest so easily. And so, yeah, apparently you speak into existence. You're going to laugh. I have to sing it into existence. I'm not even kidding. If
Oh,
I do not sing, if I say I am enough, oh, I will. But if I am feeling sick, I will sing, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. It's a whole song. But if I do that, then I'll feel better. But if I were just to say, every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body. I have to sing for it to work. And so that is a big manifesting thing. Find your style and it will surprise you more often than not.
So yeah, so it's funny because now that I'm talking to you, I'm like, okay, maybe I should explore in a positive way instead of just really shut that part of me down. That I mean, I've always been like that, and I think people should. You have an instinct and you have intuition for a reason. So I can walk by the same thing on the floor every single day, but this one day I might stop and pick it up. And someone's like, you just walk by that every day for 3 weeks. And I'm like, yeah, but today didn't feel right. Like someone's going to get hurt.
Yep.
And especially as a mom, I tell people, listen to that intuition for sure.
Every time. Yes. Because here's the thing, if nothing comes of it, oh well. But if something comes of it, awesome. And for people thinking about their intuition and they're like, yeah, but I followed my intuition and it didn't work, or it was a bad experience. Here's what I have to say. Was it a bad experience or did it teach you something? Because some
Mm,
of the crappiest things that I have manifested and followed my intuition with were the things that I needed. They were the lessons that I hadn't learned yet. And a lot of them honestly had to do with business, that I was saying yes to things and my intuition was telling me to say yes. And then I would get screwed over. But then I learned that lesson once and I never had to learn it again. And it made me
mm.
better at business. And so I'm like, awesome. As much as it's like, oh, it's a punch in the gut, I'm also sitting here going, I know I'm a one and done kind of hoe. And so I'm like, yep, let me have it once. And then I will never have to do this again, even if it is a punch to the gut. I'm good. I am fabulous with that. Other people need it to be super subtle because they're like, I don't want it to hurt. And rightfully so. You've been through trauma. You're a little sensitive, rightfully so. But me, I'm sitting here going, oh my God, if I had to choose between someone poking me with a stick every single day for a week or someone just like going and
Slapping you with a 2x4.
give me the 2x4 and I'm
Yep.
gonna have some ice cream after and be just fine by the next day. But that's me. So you have to learn how to handle your own energy, how to handle your own manifesting and your own intuition. That's where I come in. That's where I help. That's why you get the membership to work with me monthly, because this is subtle. Anyone who says, oh, I can do this in 1 week with you. When unicorns shit rainbows and pigs fly, you will be able to do that. This is subtle. And if you love yourself, if you are committed to living your best life and being the hero of your own story, get the monthly membership and see what magic you can create for yourself. That's it.
That's amazing. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to definitely check that out. And we'll put all that in the show notes and everything so people can get on there and find out more about this membership because I'm curious for sure. Absolutely. So what else you got for us? Any other tips and tricks?
So, the last tip I want to give is about self care. So, if you guys are watching this episode and like, wow, you're all over the place. One, yes, I have ADHD and that is part of my authenticity. But also, you need to be, there is this quote from a movie: live spiritly in many directions, never lose your childish enthusiasm, and things will come your way. And I absolutely embody that every day. What one thing won't work for everybody. That's why I talk about so many different things, is because everyone is different. Remember that the way your neighbor does it, the way your sister does it, is not going to be the way that you do it. So with self-care, the biggest thing that you have to do besides finding out what works for you is finding out your energy cycle. Your energy cycle is how long it takes you to cycle through energy, and everyone is different. I have only met two people in my life that it is a 24-hour period. And I look at them and I was like, what's it like to be God's favorite? Because I hate you. Because it's every 24 hours, and it's like a reset. So your energy cycle is like when you reset your next cycle of energy. For me, it is 10 days. It,
Mm,
I have tried to make it down to a week, and it is the most exhausting thing ever. I have tried to be, oh my gosh, I'm so into moon cycles. I'm gonna cycle my energy on every full moon and new moon every 14 days. Nope, it has to be 10 days. I have a client who cycles his energy every 3 weeks. And on the peak up, he's building and he has all these ideas. And then 1 week, he has all this energy and all this momentum, and then he goes down and he starts to overthink, and it's a 3 week process, but he keeps trying to do everything in that middle week. And I
mm,
said, no, you schedule all of your self-care in that third week. And now he does so much more. He makes so much more money. He now has time for his kids. He now has time to go to the beach. He loves the beach. If you can't tell by my skin tone, I don't. I am pale and Irish, so no, the sunlight is not my friend. I love the moon. But you find your energy cycle and you lean into it. And then, because it's not going to be every Monday I do this, every Tuesday I do this, or every 24 hours are going to be the same. That is so rare. So rare. Stop putting that unrealistic expectation on yourself, especially as you heal from trauma. That is not the way it's going to go. It needs to be your energy. And like I said, mine is every 10 days, which is inconvenient because 10 days is not like Monday through Friday. It's not it. So Like there are some Mondays where I am the best version of myself, and some Mondays where I'm like catatonic on the couch. I am a big fan of the couch potato. I am a potato and I have no problem with that. I am a glamorous potato in my cartoon pajama pants. But that's what you have to think about. That what is your energy cycle? And all you have to do is pay attention to it, schedule a session, and we'll talk it out. That's what you do. You find your energy and then you will find your self-care and you will start healing so much faster once you start figuring out your self-care exactly for you.
Well, and I love that you mentioned that because I've never heard of the I've heard of like a sleep cycle, and I think that is very important. Like I'll wake up and go, oh, no, 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 I'm clearly right in the middle of one and go back to sleep. I'm like,
Mhm.
mm-mm. And it might only be another 20 minutes. And then I wake up and I'm like, okay, now I'm ready. But I guess your energy, it's the same thing.
Yep, and everyone cycles differently. And there's no book about this. This is my own theory. And it's because I've worked with clients for 20 years. I realized I'm like, you can't do, okay, this is week 1, this is week 2, this is week 3. I have a client who makes progress for 3 months straight, almost straight up. But then she has to plateau for a minimum of 6 to 18 months. She will make no progress, but then she'll shoot up again for 3 months. She will make more progress in 3 months than most people make in 2 years. But she kept beating herself up for those 6 months. And she's like, I'm
Mm.
not, my intuition isn't growing. Nothing's happening. And I'm like, you just moved a mountain in 3 months. Just to take a breather, take an okay time. But now she works within her energy cycle. And it's like, oh, that's when I'll do my art. That's when I will volunteer with animals. During that 6 months, she gets to do all the warm, fuzzy things. And then during those 3 months, she gets to skyrocket and move mountains.
That's awesome. So is this something that you can learn? I mean, obviously people reach out to you and you help them track that. Is that something you can learn? I mean, there's no research. You said it's your own theory, right?
So currently the only way to do it is by doing it with me, or,
Right.
if you're super self-aware, try it yourself. Um, but yeah, eventually I want to have like a workbook, where
Yeah.
it's here's how you track your energy. But because everyone is so different, it would have to be like a mammoth phone book of a thing. Because the person who cycles through their energy every 24 hours, their workbook would look very different, and the steps they take would look very different than someone who cycles through every 3 months or 9 months, that type of thing. So it is still in the works, but I'm committed. I will do anything to help a client.
Yeah, I love that. So tell us if people want to work with you. This is so much fun. I feel like I could talk forever, and you've literally raised like thousands of questions in my mind already. So tell us if people want to work with you, what is the best place that they can get hold of you?
So lilyofthelight.com is my website, which is awesome. However, Lily of the Light across any social media. I am a proud millennial. I post free content almost every single day. I want to play with you. Play with me. Play with me on social media. Comment, like, follow. I am 100% that person, and we do tarot readings and astrology and just giving you helpful hints for your life and your business is what we do there. I love it. Come play with me.
Oh, okay. So you guys heard that. It's Lily of the Light anywhere you look. And I have looked up some of your social media and I love it. It's very, very fun. So I know you already gave us so many golden nuggets, but if you could give one last piece of advice or something people can take with them, knowing that we have a very diverse audience here, what would it be?
All right, this is going to be a painful one for a lot of people, all right?
Okay.
Buckle up, everybody. Your life, your healing, your trauma will not be Instagrammable. As much as I love social media, again, proud millennial, the way you heal will not look like an influencer's way to heal, will not look like an ad. It will not look like any of the people that you follow. And that is okay. It's not meant to. We keep trying to copycat off social media, off of 160-second post of what healing should be, of what dealing with alcoholic parents should be. It is not that. Yours will look 100% unique to you. There will be similarities, but that's it. Nothing is Instagrammable on your healing process. By all means, document it and post it to social media, but don't go looking for influencers thinking that all you have to do is copy their techniques. That's why you come to someone like me, because we want to figure out what's good for you, not your social media. So that's my last nugget. It's you. You are the hero of your own story. Don't copy some influencer with 1 million followers. They don't know you. They don't know what you need. You know what you need. Period. That's it. That is my nugget.
That is a great nugget. Thank you so much for Lily for coming on. I so appreciate it.
Absolutely. This was a lot of fun. And for people who are listening, please subscribe because I love this content and I love talking on this podcast. It is such relevant information, not just from me, but from all of the guests on the show. So please, 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 if you found it entertaining at all from me or anybody else, please follow because we really like hearing from you.
Thank you so much. And for everybody else out there that is listening, remember you can be the hero of your own story while being offensively authentic. And that is ultimately the goal. Thank you very much. And we will see you next time.